So let's remind you how we got to this point. It all started back in February. The sub-zero temperatures of Rally Sweden are world away from the heat and dust of the Middle East. And it was, of course, the first glimpse of this exciting new era of World Rally Car, the smaller, more agile 1.6-litre turbo machines, with Ford switching to the Fiesta and Citroën to the all-new DS3. World champion Sebastian Loeb was the first into the stages and first to try out these new manual gear shifts. But it was a frustrating start for the Citroën Total Star, with the Frenchman struggling for grip in the deep snow, while Henning Solberg also failed to trouble the front runners, but for a very different reason. This high-speed roll ended the Norwegian's rally. Ken Block was at his spectacular best and set the longest jump over the infamous Collins Crest. The star of the show early on, though, was Mads Osberg. The young Norwegian led the rally for a day and a half. Osberg was chased all the way by Mikko Hirvonen, and he eventually edged past. In the first of the new power stage formats, Petter Solberg was replaced by co-driver Chris Patterson after Petter lost his driving licence for speeding in a road section. It was Sébastien Ogier who won the Gustafors power stage, claiming 3 bonus championship points for his efforts, and Hirvonen held off Osberg to claim his first victory for a year and get his season off to a perfect start. Round 2 saw us cross the Atlantic Ocean for Rally Mexico, and as always, the event started in the colourful surroundings of Guanajuato for the start ramp, and for 2011, an all-new city centre super special through the cobbled streets and tunnels. Petter Solberg was quickest through this night stage, thrilling the thousands of fans in the process.
So many people. It's crazy.
The passionate Mexican spectators were packed into the gravel stages too, and as ever, a huge crowd had camped out at the spectacular El Brinco jump. It came down to an intense duel between Citroën's 2 Sebastians, Loeb and Ogier, were free to fight, and there was no quarter given. In the end, it was Ogier who blinked first. Having led the rally for much of the event, he went off the road, and an unseen rock broke his suspension and ended the fight. Loeb passed his teammate and powered into the lead, but hopes of a Citroën 1-2 finish were over. The Mexican power stage was won by Mikko Hirvonen, but it was Loeb who claimed the overall win and got his championship defence up and running. On to round 3 in Portugal, a challenging rally in the Algarve. Like Jordan, it is renowned for its hidden crests. Ken Block was first to be caught out with this huge off in the shakedown stage, his rally over before it had begun. Loeb lost time on the second afternoon when caught in the dust of Hirvonen, who'd stopped to change a punctured tyre.
You are very, very mad about this.
He destroyed my race also. I didn't have a puncture, he had a puncture.
Into the Portugal power stage, and Loeb, who was running second overall despite his delay, became the third different winner of these bonus stages. And there was a third different overall winner too, with Ogier making up for his Mexico disappointment with an emphatic victory. This time it was a Citroën 1-2, while Jari-Matti Latvala finished third for the third successive rally. That's the WRC season up to date then, and since Portugal, there's been plenty going on elsewhere in the rally world. Ken Block was back to his Gymkhana antics in London recently. The American, who isn't competing in Jordan, was relieved to get back behind the wheel after that terrifying Portugal crash.
That crash was pretty much the worst crash I've ever had in my career. It was really disappointing for me because I'd had a lot of good testing before the event. I'm starting to really get used to the car. My notes are getting better and better. So the crash on a shakedown is actually one of the worst things that you can do as a driver. So I was just really mentally quite devastated from all that.
This latest Gymkhana course for Block was in the shadow of the famous Battersea Power Station and saw the Monster World Rally Team driver reunited with the Ford Focus World Rally car for the first time since last season. It was an impressive backdrop and an impressive display from Block as ever. Meanwhile, the countdown towards Mini's return to top-level rallying has continued with the team's official launch of the John Cooper Works WRC. Alongside their drivers Chris Meek and Danny Sordo this week, the team will make their competitive debut at the next round in Sardinia. Coming up after the break, the drivers finally get into the desert as the Jordan shakedown stage gives the teams a chance to get the cars into action. See you again in a few minutes. Welcome back. So after a Herculean effort by the teams to get the service park built and the cars prepared, we'll finally see the WRC's finest in action as they take on the testing 2-kilometre shakedown stage. It's an early indication of what to expect in this unique event, and joining former Middle East champion Khalid Al-Qasimi here, you can see why. There are hard, dusty gravel roads like this throughout the rally in Jordan, and with new Michelin tyres to adapt to this weekend, the crews have limited time to get their setups honed in after all the delays. Kimi Räikkönen is one of the first drivers to make an impact in the shakedown timesheets. After 2 top 8 finishes so far this year, the former F1 star is in good form and also scored a top 8 finish in Jordan last year. You can see the bleak, featureless landscape here that make this event such a challenge. One driver who will undoubtedly make an impact here in Jordan is Sébastien Ogier. The Portugal winner hasn't let the delays distract his focus, and the Citroën Total man is looking confident with a time a second faster than Kimi. With the roads the same colour as the verges, accurate pace notes are essential, as we heard earlier. Mikko Hirvonen has certainly made the most of this rather bizarre start to round 4. This shakedown stage is invaluable testing time to evaluate the new Michelin tyre, which has been given a stronger structure to help avoid punctures. Mikko will hope for a strong finish in Jordan after crashing out here last year. And so far, the championship leader is pleased with the morning's progress.
What have you found on the couple of runs you've done so far?
I found that it's very, very slippy. Well, everything is working fine, and you know, fairly happy with the setup. It was a bit low already on the shakedown. There's quite a lot of loose rocks, but all okay, so we're ready.
Hirvonen is now the man to beat in the shakedown stage with a time of 1 minute 15.9 seconds. The next man through is Jari-Matti Latvala. There are no prizes, of course, for winning this test stage. It doesn't count towards the final rally, but it is an interesting form guide. And there is not going to be much between the two forward men here. Well, the Finns very evenly matched in this short shakedown stage. There's 1/10 of a second between them.
Gary, it's shakedown day in Jordan. Does it make a difference? Is there more pressure on shakedown when the rally's now only 2 days?
It's been a bit frustrating time to wait, and actually I was very excited that finally we can get behind the steering wheel and we can drive. That was my first impression when I got to the shakedown, and but not really pressure, but it's just the feeling that yes, now we can drive.
That's the forwards through then. They'll hope they avoid the technical gremlins that blighted their Portugal runs. That event was dominated by the Citroën Total drivers. Sebastian Loeb felt he could have won were it not for a delay in Hirvonen's dust trail there. Loeb won in Jordan last year, though. He'll take some beating on these roads. Seb is 3/10 of a second quicker than Latvala in shakedown and is already thinking about his tactics in the now 2-day rally to come.
It will be very important not to lose too much time the first day because it's only 1 day to try to catch up the gap. So we will see. We are second on the road the first day. It's not an advantage for sure. So I will try to push and we will see what we can do.
Petter Solberg has left the first 3 rallies a frustrated man. In terms of stage wins this year, only Sebastian Loeb has scored more, but technical failures and punctures have held him up so far this season. Despite his lack of testing on the new tyres, Petter could be quickest of all here.
5 left tightens, 4 minus tightens, 2.
Yeah, 4/10 quicker than Loeb. It's the Norwegian who is the quickest man in the shakedown stage.
Friday morning, great road position. What's the plan for tomorrow?
Just go.
Rally Jordan also marks the second round of the SWRC category for drivers using normally aspirated Super 2000 machines. The favourite here is undoubtedly Nasser Al Attiyah. The 6-time Middle East champion is a former winner in Jordan before it joined the WRC, and having been excluded from the last event in Mexico after leading from start to finish, the Qatari driver will be desperate to get a win under his belt. Nasser faces a formidable lineup though. Making his SWRC bow for 2011 is Evan Brynildsen. The Norwegian youngster has an abundance of talent, and with his Skoda Fabia being run by his compatriot Petter Solberg's team, he has a strong squad backing him up. Also competing in his first SWRC event of the season is Bernardo Sousa. The Portuguese star crashed out from his WRC debut at his home event 3 weeks ago. So he'll hope his switch back to his Super 2000 Fiesta brings him better luck. And keep an eye on Jordanian Ammar Hijazi. Could his local knowledge help him power his Skoda Fabia to a podium finish? We'll keep you updated on the SWRC runners throughout the weekend. All that remained for the crews on this opening day was the drive north to the official opening ceremony among the spectacular Roman ruins in the ancient city of Jerash. Now, featured driver Khalid Al-Qasimi meeting His Royal Highness Prince Faisal as he passed over the start ramp. Finally, after an incredible effort from all involved in the sport, the 2011 Jordan Rally is up and running. So this amazing event will go ahead despite the problems, thanks to the teams coming together with the organisers and the FIA. We have 2 days of thrilling desert action to come. Follow the times and news as ever on WRC.com, and make sure you join us again tomorrow when the Jordan Rally really comes to life.